Okay, we are trying again, going live with Rubin. Play festivals. I'm going to be doing a little interview about this upcoming SoulPlay, the different workshops I'm going to be putting on there. So let's see if we can get Ash. It's
Ah,
working!
we did it. Amazing.
Finally, we've done it.
We got there. Oh, this has been a
Woo!
journey.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
firm.
let's begin. Let's
Great.
begin. Beautiful thing.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I am Asha. I'm the marketing lead for SoulPlay this year. SoulPlay is a really exciting festival. It brings all the fun and the play of a festival with the reverence and the intentionality of a transformational retreat. And I'm really pleased to be interviewing today Leslie, who is I want to make sure I get this absolutely right.
Okay, great.
Leslie is a transformational guide at the intersection of psychedelic healing, somatic therapy, and conscious sexuality. How'd I do, Leslie? Did I nail
Great.
it?
Perfect. Yeah, you nailed it.
Awesome, awesome. So Les is going to be running two workshops at SoulPlay, one on sensual wrestling, which sounds like a lot of fun, and she's going to be running a love temple, which also sounds like really exciting and interesting. And more broadly, Leslie is really focusing on the area of like liberating life force, enabling fuller self-expression, and dropping into a really deep sense of self-acceptance and belonging.
Mm-hmm.
And that's touched on tantra, and it also touches on lots of other areas as well.
Mm.
So we're going to be talking about, Leslie, what you're bringing to the festival, what your magic is. And to start off with, I have a question for you. I'd love to know, Leslie, you've been to a few soul plays in the past, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this will be my third or fourth.
Cool. So what are some of your favorite parts of going to soul play? Why do you go, why do you keep coming back?
Soul play is just the sweetest. It's so yummy. It's so like friends everywhere. Friends you know, friends you haven't met yet. It is just, you're wandering around. It's just like, oh, hugs galore. Every single workshop is stellar. Every presenter on this list is magnificent. And I was looking at the list this year, and it's all like the who's who, all my friends. And just Romy puts on such an amazing event. Just like love, yum, play. Uh, it just feels like such a family. Just you can just drop in
Cool.
so deep with everyone. Yeah, it's just such a joy. Just every moment, it's like yum, yum, yum to the top.
Hmm. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you a little bit about your workshops. I want to go a little deeper on these. So the first one is Sensual Wrestling. Like what is that? Tell me about that.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, uh, I'm known for putting on sensuality events, and this year, I've been kind of moving away from the tantra focus a bit, and just moving more into like, what do we need to feel like fully in ourselves, fully alive, fully expressed, and I was thinking about what would actually bring me joy to participate in at a festival, and so I decided to craft this sensual wrestling class with a sweetie of mine, Jason Rich. And I basically did it because I want to just wrestle all my friends and have a really fun time. And so for me, sensual wrestling, it's like being in the body, being in the yumminess of our animal self. It's about play and sort of that lightheartedness and kind of the freedom of that. It's about accessing power in a way that feels really delicious. I think that
Mm,
power has a bad rap in our world where power has been used so poorly. But what we want is power in the hands of people who are also super fucking loving and really on purpose and really just aimed in the right direction in their life. So I want to space for people to really revel in open up into that power and feel like the juicy, exciting fire of it. Like, it's not so much like sexuality for the sake of sexuality. It's more like channeling the sexual energy as part of that power enlivenment. I don't know if I'm
Yeah, no, this
explaining
is
here,
making
but
sense. Yeah.
just
I've
like we need access to all that, like to like run your life, to like bring all the creative juice into the world that you want to be bringing. It's like you're not going to have too much of an impact on the world if you're like, oh, yeah, I have a brilliant message, but I'm a little like hiding over here in the corner. It's like, no, like take life by the horns. So this event will be a chance to just get into the yum, get into the playful embodiment, and kind of like really revel in feeling that power and confidence.
Beautiful. Yeah, I've done a lot of wrestling in the past. I've done a lot of jujitsu,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's so much fun. And it shows you that you're not made of glass. Like you actually feel your body, you feel the pressure of other people coming up against you, and it's a way of like really inhabiting your body that gives you a sense of strength and power, which I
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
But every jujitsu class that I've gone to has been highly technical. It's like you're learning the skill, and you need to show up again and again and again and learn this mastery.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I just want to wrestle with my friends, you know, and but we don't have
Get goofy,
the
get
culture
playful.
or the yeah, but we don't have the frameworks. We don't know like how do I wrestle with my friends? How do I feel the power and the energy and the aliveness and the fun of wrestling outside of this highly technical space? So
Right.
like I'm excited to be in a workshop where like I
Yeah.
can feel that thrill and that exhilaration in a safe
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
and also yeah, feel my power with other humans,
Mm-hmm.
and feel their power with me, and awaken those channels. Like we're just
Mm-hmm.
sitting on our computers doing this all the time. Like
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
actually get in my body.
And I like how you spoke to the kind of technical aspect of jiu-jitsu. I actually have a friend who has been studying jiu-jitsu for a long time. He's going to be at the festival, and he's like, hell yeah, I'm going to come to your workshop. And yeah, the idea is definitely to be in the play of it. I think
Yeah.
that, as little kids, we were so in the body, just rolling around, just having a good time, doing what feels good. And as adults, we're just so in our head all the time, trying to figure it out, trying to do it right, trying to, there's so many constraints on how we can behave and not. I'm just wanting this to be a playful, yummy space of exploration. And I was thinking some too about the sensual aspect of it. So there's definitely events I've put on in the past that are more about, really cultivating the erotic dimension with another person, getting to really feel that, dive into that. And with this, it's like there's a pleasure element to it. But what I'm really wanting people to feel is just like the like enjoyment of being in the body. So it's going to be a space where any gender wrestle, any gender. It's not about like, oh, I'm sexually attracted to this person and we have to have an erotic and kind of more like, I can wrestle a woman, I can wrestle a man, I can wrestle anybody. Get into the enjoyment of it. So it's really about how do you access pleasure and enjoyment within yourself, and how do you access power, and kind of wedding those together.
Mm.
And we might have live DJ guests playing some music, so that could be
Cool.
really exciting. That's still in the works. So, mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll be attending that one, so I'll see you
Okay,
there
come
for
on down.
sure.
Right.
So tell us like you said you're not running this workshop alone. You're running it with
Right.
a support facilitator. Who is that? And tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah, my sweetie Jason Rich is going to be co-facilitating. He is a body master. He has 20 plus years of bodywork experience, and his massages are the most yummy of all time, and the best sensual wrestler that I've ever experienced. And so he really brings the like delicious animal, playful flavor. He's a great growler. So he's going to get to make magic with me there.
Beautiful. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the love temple. Like what is a love temple in your words, and what are you trying to create here?
hmm So I have put on a number of different sexy events, second-based parties, different kinds of uh, temple spaces that are really for exploring sensual connection in a way that feels safe and easy. With this, I'm going to be putting it on with my dear friend, Kanna Angel. She's just a fantastic dreamer and just the muse, and I was creating spaces with her that are very sort of like open for people to explore what feels right for them. One of the intentions we have for the space is really to be about a space of reverence, um, space of getting to feel the beauty of erotic energy, the beauty of how it wants to flow through us, how our love wants to be expressed through all the different forms, through eye contact, through gentle touch, through maybe some wrestling, maybe some deeper erotic play. But the purpose of this love temple is, this is going to be Saturday night at the festival, and everyone's going to be really juiced up from the weekend. They're going to be in their bodies. They're going to be beaming with love and really wanting people to have a space where they can give and receive love in many different forms. And once again, while other kinds of evening sexy temple spaces can really be about just exploring erotic energy with people that you really want to play with, people you find really attractive, we're wanting the space to also have that element of like, hey, you can share your love and your spark and your creativity and your energy, with just about anyone. Again, like cross genders, any, old, young. It's like everyone can share love, and so this is going to be a space where we really invite that like love shine through the body, through the eyes, through we're hoping that people will find their own kind of inner muse that gets to be in service to others, and for them to get to also feel that love radiating everyone in the room. So, and it's going to be a bottom stay on event. So, energy plays welcome, but yeah, bottom stay on, and we're not going for orgasmic on the physical dimension, but certainly on the energetic dimension.
Cool. Yeah, I have a question around that. Like I've been to temples before, so I understand the culture around them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that like to someone who hasn't been to one before, there can be the misperception that it's basically just an orgy, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
or a sex party. But temples, in my experience, have had such a deep reverence and safety, and like it's a much more welcoming and mature space in my limited experience.
Mm-hmm.
That there can be mature sex parties and orgies too, but there's definitely a different culture around it.
Yeah.
So for someone who's never been to a temple before, like how do you distinguish what's the difference between that and a sex party or an orgy or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that one of the big things just about any space that I create, I really love to focus on the feeling of safety, that like it's okay to be you, it's okay to express yourself, it's okay to bring all your fears, all your shame, all of your inhibitions, like bring it all. It's not like you have to be an expert at this going into it. It's more of a space where you can explore, what comes up. And this is what a healing environment is really designed for, is like make room for you to be yourself and let yourself feel it. Let yourself feel the excitement and the blocks and the fears. Like we're kind of bringing it all to the altar. This is what it's about. And so when it's a healing space, it's really about trusting that the container can hold you to be yourself and feel what you feel. And whereas I feel like you know, what you think of as like a normal sex party or an orgy or something, you know, it's kind of like, woo, girls gone wild, like everybody, you know, fucking and sucking and doing everything, you know, that's, and it can be so great to have spaces like that that are super liberating and really fun and free. But what makes this a little bit different is that it's really bringing, it's not like you have to be any particular way to show up to it. You bring yourself exactly as you are. And the space offers you an opportunity to transform your relationship to sexual energy. So even if somebody arrives and they just, we're gonna have some time where people are really just connecting to their own energy and kind of feeling their own flow. And so it's, you could come to the event and just be completely in your own space and just feeling your own body, you know, giving yourself love. You could explore, you know, giving a massage to someone. You could explore asking some heartfelt, intimate questions from our like questions bowl. You know, we want it to be a space where it's just safe to play at the level that is really right for you and that really feels healing, and where you're really following the flow of what wants to happen in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love in your description, what I love is the possibility for really easeful growth. Like, you know, you're like, these festivals are an amazing opportunity to step out of your familiar zone and into your growth zone, and experience and do things you've never done before.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's held with such care, there's an opportunity to do those things in a way that's like way more relaxing. Like, you don't have
Yeah.
to take such a huge leap. You can have a new experience and it's like, oh, that was really
Yeah.
cool. Not, oh my
Yeah.
God, this is terrifying, you know?
Ah,
It's like
yeah.
more easeful.
Yeah, I mean, people have asked
Yeah.
me before, like, oh, do I have to like do a bunch of sexy things with you? I'm like, no, you can just like, you can witness, you can dance, you can, you know, tickle someone with a feather, you can, you know, there's so many different ways to play in the what feels right for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Now, I know that that your workshops are focusing like in the areas of connection and touch and relating at SoulPlay, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
also aware that you do lots of other things as well. Like, I'm curious about what are the areas that your work is currently focusing on? What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Thanks. Yeah. So I used to be focusing a lot more on sex and intimacy coaching and teaching Tantra workshops. And then over the last few years, my work has transitioned more into the realm of psychedelic healing. And the basis of that work is really the somatic therapy method called Hakomi. It is a really beautiful modality that is all about accessing core material through bringing mindfulness to the body. And so, the body is the key to it all. So nowadays, my work is really, I'm doing ongoing somatic therapy with individuals and holding space for shamanic day-long experiences that are really about just getting out of the mind level and getting into the felt sense of what the body is holding, what the body knows, and the way that our sensations and our energy is held in the body in conjunction with our emotions and the ways that we've stored trauma in the body. So sexuality is definitely still a big area of specialty for me. It's the area of focus. But I find that the work that I'm doing now really extends to lots of other areas of life. So people show up with trauma, people show up with anxiety and depression, people show up with just a desire to like break out of some level of themselves that they feel they've been kind of stuck in. And oftentimes people have, done a lot of work on themselves. They've thought about it a lot. They've processed. They may have been doing therapy for a while, but if that just stays on the level of the mind and the cognition, then it doesn't really get down into the body where the transformation happens. So I still feel like this, getting down and making space to feel in real time. That's what allows that energy to liberate. So that's what it's about. So working with individuals, and then also I'm creating more retreat spaces here to welcome groups to do this work together. So
Yeah. Yeah, super important work. Like
I'm
I'm
loving it.
tracking the history of the healing and personal growth movement, and very intellectual, very cognitive, NLP based, mind heavy in the 80s and 90s, and then dropping into more of the mental, emotional, and talk therapy. It seems like the path of descent down into the body,
That's
from the
it, baby.
mental to the emotional to the physical, like tension, pain, structures stored in the tissues, meeting it at that deep point is like such a critical tool, and really on the edge of our culture. It's quite exciting, really. Like
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
new tools, new practices bridging
Mhm.
out into the
Right.
mainstream,
Right.
and from,
Yeah, I think people are really understanding that the spiritual path that has been in the past maybe focused on kind of going up and out of the body, ascending, transcending, kind of getting out of this human reality or ego structure and kind of escaping to somewhere more heavenly or pure. I think people are understanding that that's not the way for us, that we need to be fully in our body and fully integrated with our human reality. So, I really believe that it's kind of that, like, we are the bridge, heaven, earth. This is our human reality is the sacred reality. And so, and this is really kind of some of the original meaning of the path of tantra is just coming down and in. This is it. This life is the sacredness that we're here to transform through. So I love that somatic work is getting a lot more attention these days, and that psychedelic healing is becoming a lot more widespread. In the last year, I was even able to tell my parents about my work, which was a big deal. And I feel like it's such my heart is so warm knowing that they are, they don't understand, but they're starting to get it. They've heard enough about it. They're like, oh, this is a thing. And my mom said to me, she's like, oh, you're really helping people, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm really helping people. So it's starting to get out more and more.
yeah, yeah, such important and powerful work.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Thank you. Good on you for like leading the charge on that. Yeah.
It's my pleasure. I benefit so tremendously from getting to offer it. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm. So, if someone's on the fence and they're thinking about, should I go to SoulPlay? Is it right for me? Ooh, I don't
Come to
know. I don't know.
SoulPlay.
Maybe what do they need to hear? What's important for them to hear?
You get to relax. You get to be yourself. You get to play. You get to be human. You get to be magical. There's like campfires and sing-alongs and ecstatic dance and every possible yummy workshop under the sun. Basically just millions of friends you haven't quite met yet, and you're going to be hooked. If you come once, you'll be hooked. That's it.
Oh, amazing. Well, I'll see you there. I'll be there for
Yay.
sure this year. I'm coming all the way from Australia to attend.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to find you, Leslie, if they want to like go deeper with your work, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, they can still reach me on my website, lesliegracetantra.com. There's a contact me page. You can just fill it out and put some info about what you're looking for, and I'd be happy to set up a time to talk.
Beautiful. Anything else you want to share with the
Oh,
world before we
also,
finish up?
I am gathering folks for my group Transformational Retreat email list. So in case people want to be on that and know about upcoming group events, you can just send me a message with your email and I can put you on the list.
Nice. Cool.
Thanks,
Okay.
Ash.
Thank you, Leslie. Thanks
Looking
for
forward to
coming on
meeting
with
you in
me.
person.
If you want to get tickets to SoulPlay, soulplay.co, soulplayfestival.com.
And I got a
Go
discount
there.
code, so message me for your code.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. Okay. Thanks,
All
Les.
right.
I'll see you
Be
around.
well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.